This conference will now be recorded.
إمام مبين وكل شيء أتيناه في 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 إمام مبين شكرا لله والحمد لله شكرا لله والحمد لله يا علي مدد عزيز सर
या अली मदद बहुत खूब सुभान अल्लाह तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद हम आज अपने इल्मी सेशन का पार्ट नंबर 3 कंटिन्यू करेंगे। हम आगाज करते हैं मौला के मेहरबान नाम से। नूर मौलाना शाह करीम अल हुसैनी हाजिर इमाम या मौला मेहरबान मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा। अलयुल कय्यूम, अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा, अलयुल कय्यूम, अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा। नूर मौलाना शाह करीमुल सैनी हाजिर इमाम, हाजिर इमाम। या मौलाए मेहरबान, तौफीक, ताहीद, हिम्मत व यारी मौला, तौफीक, ताहीद, हिम्मत व यारी मौला। या मौलाए मेहरबान, हेल्प, हेल्प अस मौला। या मौला मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा। अलयुल कय्यूम, अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा। या मौलाए मेहरबान, keep your blessed hand on our shoulder. Stay close to us, Mawla. With your blessing, with your khana vadan, we Garib will be able to do little bit of ilmi work, Mawla. Without your help, we are nothing, Mawla. We are nothing, Mawla. एक बार फिर तमाम साथियों को यारी मदद and welcome to the ilmi session, Importance of Ilm in Our Tariqa, Part 3. And we will look at few of the things that we did last week to continue our visual journey on this path. And I would like to thank all of the friends online who have sent good wishes, good comments, and lot of valuable questions. Without your prayers, your support, we are nothing and we will not be able to do anything. If anything that you see good, if you learn anything from this session, then believe me, it is not mine, but it is due to Imam's mercy on your soul. And if there is any shortcoming, any mistakes in these sessions, those are mine and mine only. And I hope you will keep open heart and mind and forgive this Nachis and Garib for those shortcomings and mistakes. All praises are due to Ali Allah, Imam Zaman. All ilm is belong to him and him only. None of this is mine. So please do not think or say that this is my ilm, because that would not be a correct statement. That would not be a right thing to say. As all praises are due to him and him only, he is Subhan and Alhamd. Thanks again for joining. Let's dive into the subject at hand. We have a question, and this is continuation from the last week. And question was and is, what is the difference between the spiritual and physical faith? हमने अपने पिछले हफ्ते के सेशन को कुछ कंपैरिजन के साथ कुछ चार्ट्स के साथ रोका था और आखिर में एक सवाल आया था कि क्या फर्क है ज़ाहिरी प्रैक्टिसेस में और बातिनी प्रैक्टिसेस में। क्या फर्क है जाहिर और बातिन में। तो चले हम इमाम ही के फरमान से उसको समझने की कोशिश करते हैं और हम शाह करीम इमाम ज़मान के इस फरमान को याद रखें कि what is written is for all, मीनिंग जो भी हमको दिखता है, जो जाहिर में है, जो फिजिकल प्रैक्टिसेस है, जो हम अपने जिस्म और बदन के साथ करते हैं, whatever we can see, whatever we do on the physical level using our physical body, Mullah said, is for all. But the batin is for us and our jamaat only. और उसके अंदर जो उसका बातीन है, उसका मग्ज है, उसकी तावील है, वो हमारे और हमारी जमात के लिए है। मौला फरमाते हैं अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मदिन व आले मोहम्मद। That was our present Imam. Let's say what our previous Imam have said long time ago. He has said, how much is the difference between your and others' faith? A question Imam is asking. कि तुम्हारे और दूसरों के मजहब में क्या फर्क है? You reflect that your faith is spiritual while others' faith are physical. तुम देखो कि तुम्हारा मजहब बातिनी है और दूसरों का जाहिरी। How much is the difference between the spiritual and physical faith? और कितना फर्क है बातिनी मजहब में और जाहिरी मजहब में। Before we read this फरमान further, Ahl Zahir do namaz, a physical action. You do dua, a physical action. What is the difference between you and them? Your tariqa and their tariqa. You must say, so far, nothing. As they present, as they offer a physical prayers, so do you. What is the difference? Do you see any difference between your tariqa and their tariqa? Again, second example. They do give zakat, so do you give the son. A physical act, what is the difference between your faith and others? They go to masjid, you go to Jamaat Khana, a physical act. They do mankabat and ibadat, so do you, Ginan and ibadat. What is the difference? So far, all the comparison shows us that we are no different than them. जो भी हमने अभी तक मिसालें ली उससे हमें पता चला कि उनके तरीके में और हमारे तरीके में जो हम एक्शन करते हैं, जो फिजिकल एफर्ट डालते हैं, कोई भी फर्क नहीं है. Then again, Imam's question is to you, and Imam is asking you two questions. How much is the difference between your and others' faith? You reflect that your faith is spiritual. आप सोचें कि तुम्हारा मजहब बातीन का है, while others' faith are physical. उनका मजहब जाहिरी है. Imam asking you same question again. How much is the difference between the spiritual and the physical faith? Question. Food for thought. A self reflection. अगर यहां तक जहां तक हमने सोचा, thus far what we have talked about and taken the example, we have not seen any different. There is no difference between their tariqa and our tariqa so far. Let's read this farman further. If Mukhi Kamriya don't impart the children and the spiritual words don't penetrate to their soul in childhood, the physical faith will dominate in the thoughts of the children. यहाँ पर मिसाल बच्चों की दी गई है. Remember, हम भी बच्चे थे कभी. The example is given of the children, but do not forget we were children once. If our parents, if our Mukhi Kamriya, if our Tarika board, if our ALWAAZ, if our teachers have not done anything to show us, teach us, and inspired us toward the batin of our tariqa, then they have not done the job what Imam have entrusted on them. That include the parents, that includes Mukhi Kamriya, that includes Tariqa board, that include ALWAAZ, and that include teachers, REC teachers. Imam said, if you only show and tell, and remember, honesty is the key to learning and self-reflection. Ask yourself, I'm talking about the parents and elders. And if you are a young one, ask yourself, to the parents and elder, what have you taught your children thus far? बेटा, 3 वक्त की दुआ पढ़ो. Matter of fact, we push them so hard on the physical practice of the dua and the timing of the dua. Oh my God, 7:30. How dare you miss a dua by 1 minute? You must say the dua on exact time, not 7:29, not 7:31, but 7:30. We have pondered on them a physical tariqa and practice. If I'm not telling the truth, please correct me. And remember, all the mistakes and shortcomings are mine. Correct me if this is not a correct statement. We push, we force the 3-time dua and the timing of that dua on our children. How many times we have said to our children that dua is the practice. Dua is the practice. All right. Can you please unmute? Thank you. Dua is the practice, and dua is an essence. Essence to remembrance and ibadat. Dua gives us the discipline when we are children, but as we grow up, we must know the communication within the dua between a murid and the imam. What is being said? What has been communicated? What are the feelings and the understanding in the dua? Dua is the essence of ibadat. Dua is the first step toward the elevation. Dua is the farman bardari. Dua is the first step. But we don't say any of that. Two reasons. Two reasons for that. One, because our parent never taught us that, because they pounded that on our head like a hammer. दुआ पढ़ लो, दुआ पढ़ लो, दुआ पढ़ लो, दुआ मिस कर दी, दुआ मिस कर दी, दुआ मिस कर दी. Oh, 7:30 नहीं हुई है. Don't start the dua. Don't start the dua. It's not 7:30 yet. Because that's how it was taught to us by our parents, and we did the same. But this farman was given to our parents and our grandparents. This farman is given to us by our previous imam and our current imam. And they have emphasized on the batin of our tariqah again and again and again and time again. But even today, remember honestly, self-reflection. Even today, we are pondering on, forcing, and only following the physical tariqah. Even though our tariqah is tariqah of the batin. But what is the batin? We don't know. Let's take the example that Imam is giving to us. That if we do not impart that knowledge to the children, may I request our friends to keep your phone mute, please? If Mukhi Kamriya or parents or our ALWAAZ or our Tariqa board or our REC teacher do not impart this knowledge to the children, and the spiritual words don't penetrate their hearts, their soul, then what is the danger? What will happen? The physical faith will dominate in the thought of the children. Children, isn't that true for us? Isn't that true for us? If I ask, I'm not asking, if I ask, we will find over 100 on this very line will agree with Imam's word, with this farman, that we have the physical faith dominating our mind, our heart, and our daily practice. Most or all of you will agree with that statement, with this farman. And the reason is because that is what was pounded on us from the childhood. And we are doing the same mistake. We are making the same mistake today with our children, and God forbid our children will make the same mistake with their children. So, those of you young couples, young parents who's, who have young children today, for Imam's farman, for Imam's love, for the sake of your children's spiritual progress, do not make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. Give them the batin of our tariqah. Teach them the batin of our rites and ritual, our tariqah, our faith. Show them the batin. If you don't know, learn. Learn and learn the batin and then teach them. Do not let another day slide by without following this farman for the sake of your children's salvation. Otherwise, you are the one who are going against Imam's farman and penetrating or giving them the zahir of our tariqah and not the batin as per Imam's wish. Why do we love zahir so much? What is the reason? We love our rites and ritual, desire. Either we don't even know there is a batin to that, or we don't care to know the batin because that is just too much work. I don't have a time for that. That's too much work. I have no time for that. You pick your battle. Either we don't even know there is a batin, or we don't care there is a batin. And then if we know there is a batin, then we say, no, 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 that's too much work. My forefather followed, I will follow on the same path, a physical religion. What is the difference between the spiritual and physical faith? Imam is asking you. And the reason is, and Imam is giving an example, the man who has never eaten the best fruit like mango, those of you who have never touched the batin, who have never explored the other side of our tariqah, the batin of our tariqah, he will prefer the item in eating like garlic, onion, potatoes, and tomatoes. He who has not eaten the mugs or touched the mugs, have not seen the batin of our tariqah, he is happy with physical actions, the rites and ritual at the level of physical, by saying, excuse, my forefather followed, so I'm following it. What a great excuse we have. Ask yourself again, it's okay. You are my brother and sister, and I know you have given me the permission to challenge your heart and your mind. Ask yourself, we've been talking about the batin of our tariqa for last 2 years. What have changed in your heart and your mind? How much are you following the Zahiri tariqa and how much are you following the Batini tariqa? How much do you force upon yourself and your children of the physical actions and tariqa, and how much do you learn and teach your children the essence, the batin of our tariqa? Self-reflection, a must if we ever want to follow the Imam's Farman. So may the batin of our tariqa penetrates our heart. Then this self-reflection will help you. Further, Imam says, he will make no difference in it because he have never tasted the batin of it. He have never tasted the mango. The mango have never have gone into his mouth. The batin have never penetrated into your heart and into your thought. Then why would you not follow the zahir? Because you have never tasted the batin. You have never tasted the badam, the essence, the core. You know what is our example? You know what is our example? We are eating leaf. पत्ते खाते हैं, and we are leaving the fruit. We are eating the leaf and leaving the fruit. That is our example. Last line. Hence, the education of the ilm of the deen, the ilm of the deen and Gidan in particular must be given to the children. The education of the ilm of deen. यहाँ पर उर्दू के अंदर हमारे मजहब की तालीम की समझ जो गिनानों में बयान हुई है पर्टिकुलरली खास करके वो हमारे बच्चों को देनी चाहिए. You see how beautiful this farman is, how comprehensive. Imam asks question, Imam gives example, and Imam gives you the bottom line. हमारे मजहब की समझ जो गिनानों में हमारे पीरों ने छुपा के रखी है वो हमारे बच्चों को देनी चाहिए, ना कि उनके ऊपर ज़ाहिरी मजहब थोपना चाहिए. We must teach. If you don't know, learn and teach the batin of our tariqa, the ilm of our tariqa, understand and then teach. Give that to your children. That is the farman. All right, let's come to the chart where we were. And if you remember, we were talking about how many hours in a day, because of the challenge or sometime marking the imam, we say I am balancing the deen and dunya. And we had this chart and we had divided them into green and red lines. And with your help, we were able to take 3 hours. Then we were able to take 8 hours. And we added a lot of things because originally we had come up with only 3 hours a day. But with a little bit of help, by pushing a little bit, we were able to come into the green. But look at it, 8 hour only. 8 hour for the deen and 16 hour in the red, which is dunya, sleep, work, TV, eat. Is that a balance? Is that a balance that Imam wants you to have? That's not a balance. 8 versus 16. And then we said, how about we follow Imam's farman and say what Imam has told us. And let's say if we can come up with more hours, and we made 13 hour out of this 18, out of this 8. How did we do that? What we did, we added the hours of the sleep included if you sleep with the remembrance of the Imam. And when we did that, we added the sleep, dua, ibadat, even khidmat, even helping others. We took all of that and we came out with the 13 hours. So now we have tripped the balance a little bit. We have a 13 hours instead of 8 hours before. By adding the 3 hour of ibadat and couple of hours of khidmat and helping others. So 8 plus 3 plus couple of hours made it 13. But we had said that this week, and there was a gentleman who was asking question, and I had said, we will see, is there any way possible to make this 24 hour in green? 24 hour in green. What do you think? Can we do that? Yes, we can do that. Yes. So I wanted to bring you to the very first chart where there is a blank chart. So we can start counting again. Initially, we had said, and we had given the benefit of doubt, that we are going to morning Jamaat Khana and we are going to evening Jamaat Khana. There was 3 hours initially. And then we said that those who follow the Imam's Farman and believe that even if you sleep, and before you sleep, you remember him, do Griyazari, Tasbih, Dua, Sajda, then even your sleep is part of your ibadat. So let's say we are sleeping in this hours, and this hour up until 7 in the morning. Now how many do we have? We have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you remember a chart of 11 here, or 8 plus 3 hour of ibadat, 11. Then we said that those who perform their work, their job, their business with honesty, जो अपने काम को इमाम के फरमान के मुताबिक ईमानदारी से बजा लाता है, जो अपनी रोजी को ईमानदारी से कमाता है, तो मौला ने फरमाया कि वो भी आपकी इबादत में गिनी जाएंगी. जो आप काम ईमानदारी से करते हैं वो भी आपकी इबादत में गिना जाएगा. So let's go to work and let's count all of this hour until we come home 5 o'clock in the evening. Look at where we are now. 3 hours left. So far, we have 21 hour in green. 21 hour in green. Now, is there any way possible to convert this 3 hour in green? Yes. Now, when you come home, while you're driving home, this 1 hour, while you're driving home, what are you doing from your work to your home? Let's say you are listening to this lecture on your audio recording. So, or let's say you are playing some tasbih. Let's say you are remembering some ginan. Let's say you are trying to understand what you have heard in the Farman. Let's say you have Imam's thought in your mind while you are coming home. How many hours do we have now? 22 hours. A smart, a wise moment will do what? He will take the red dunya, not that he will leave the dunya. I did not use the word leave the dunya. He will take the dunya and he, if he is wise, अक्लमंद मोमिन होगा तो वो दुनिया को भी दीन में कन्वर्ट कर देगा. He converted his sleep into green, into deen, by remembering him through Imam's Farman before he went to sleep. Then he converted his work by being honest. Remember, when you go to work, your niyat should be that I will work hard, honestly, and whatever I earn, I will use that for the good purposes, for my family, for my friends, for my Jamaat, in the way of Imam. Good niyat. You converted your dunya into deen. You don't leave your dunya. You still have to sleep. You still have to work, right? You don't leave your dunya. You convert your red, your dunya into green, into your deen. If you are wise. अगर अक्लमंद है तो वो दुनिया को दीन में कन्वर्ट करता है. Now we have 2 hours. Is there any way possible to convert this 2 hours into green? Yes. Yes. Let's say I'm going to give this 1 hour to TV watching. While you are watching TV and you see whatever you see, doesn't matter what you're watching. Hopefully, and I wanted to throw this and I want to challenge you. If you are not watching ZTV, Indian drama, if you are not watching ZTV, Indian drama, then anything other than that, you can convert that into green, into deen. Because even in the comedy shows, even in the movies, even in the other, even games you watch on TV, some play, you can think how this reflects. How can I take this segment and how, while I'm watching this segment, I can think of something good out of it. something good out of it. I wanted to give you a good example. I don't know if have you ever watched uh, Grace and Kelly. I'm just giving you example. Or Three's Company, old episode, or take any episode you like. And what do you, if you're watching that, and if you are that person who always looking to convert their dunya into deen, will say, look at how much they are helping each other. How can I help my deen bhai? How can I help my brother and sister? How can I help my friend, my Jamaati member? See, you can convert that while you are watching and relaxing, you're watching TV, you can convert that. So now we have a 23 hour. Is it possible to convert this last 1 hour from red to green? Let's say I'm going to give this hour to eating. If the food you are eating, if there's a halal rosy, if you earn that food honestly, अगर वो गुड अर्निंग है, हलाल की रोजी है, और आप उसको इमाम के नाम से खाते हैं, बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, और शुक्र करके उसको फिनिश करते हैं, आपने इस खाने को भी ग्रीन में तब्दील कर दिया. How many hours do we have now? How many hours do we have now? We can say we have 24 hours. You see, we took all the red and we made all of them green. But this is a practice. It requires discipline. It requires a mindset. It truly requires a mindset. And we will forget sometime. Human, right? We forget. We will forget sometime. But at the same time, even if we come close to that, let's say this 13 hour here, what did we do? We tripped the balance toward the green, toward the deen, from the zahir, dunya, and red. We went from red to green. All right, at the end, if anyone have question, please ask. Let's move forward, and we have couple of faramin, and then we will end, and inshallah we will continue next week. Because this is obvious and I can just see in your heart, I can see in your heart, you are asking, but I'm living in dunya, I cannot do that. Am I reflecting your thoughts right now? But how can I do that? I'm not that good. I'm just merely a human. I am not able to balance my life. Why should I balance my life? So look at this. P. Sadaruddin was wise. Remember we just talked about? If you are a wise momin, akalmand momin, and then I use the word, if you are true to yourself. P. Sadaruddin was wise, akalmand, true. He was true to himself. And honest in batin too. We use all these words while we were listening to above Farman and we were looking at the chart. We use all these words for you and me. We are together in this. Remember, we are Garib and Nachis, right? We are all struggling on this path. Me and you together, we are struggling. But look at this one line and be happy that we just crossed the line. We are wise. Akalmand, we turned red into green, dunya into deen. We are wise. We are true to ourselves. Important. And we must be honest in the batin. That part. Be honest in your batin. Any Khoja will say, Pir Sadruddin converted Khojas. Pir Sadruddin too was the brother of you Khojas. You too work and become like Pir Sadruddin. Today we made that effort. You know what Pir Sadruddin was doing? He was taking his dunya and converting into deen. He did not leave दुनिया. उसने दुनिया को छोड़ नहीं दी थी. उसने दुनिया को दीन में कन्वर्ट कर दिया था क्योंकि वो अक्लमंद था, क्योंकि वो ऑनेस्ट था. He was true to himself. देखा आपने? Look at this फरमान. We know this फरमान. Have we ever seen this फरमान in this light as we are looking at today? You too work and become like Pir Sadruddin. And today we learn how to work on that part. Be wise, be true, be honest to yourself. If you exert the way Pir Sadruddin did, you too can become like him. And that is honest to God true. You can also become like him. To come to Jamaat Khana, to recite dua is not an exertion. It is not, it is very easy work. You know what we are doing today? This is what we are doing. Remember, be honest to yourself. Be true to yourself. We are taking the easy path. We have taken the easy path. Mullah said, दुआ पढ़नी कोई वो बड़ी बात नहीं है, ये तो आसान है. This is not the way Pir Sadruddin took. Pir Sadruddin took the hard part because he was wise. He did not go for the zahir, he went for the batin. He did not take the easy part. Are you taking the easy part? Are we taking the easy part? Am I taking the easy part? That should be the question. Be honest. Be true to yourself. Remember, this is for you and me. If we cannot be true to ourselves, how can we say we are Imam's true Momin? How can we say we are Imam's spiritual children if we cannot even be honest to ourselves? Are we taking easy path? Yes, we are. We admit. Can we take the way of Pir Sadruddin? Yes, we can. And we just saw how. We just learned how he was doing it. Now we can do it. Second Farman. My spiritual children are keeping to their old traditions, their own habits, and I want to keep to those traditions and keep those habits. I want you, as in the past, to say your prayers regularly, to teach your children not only their faith and how they should understand it, but also how to practice. I would like the parents of my spiritual children, Mola is talking about you and me. I would like the parents of my spiritual children, of my young spiritual children to make it their duty to teach the faith to their children, to teach it in the most correct form. Most correct form. I would like my Jamaat to remember that without this, there is no point in doing any work whatsoever. We have to take a deep breath here. My friends, my brother and sister, my elders, my young ones. We have to take a deep breath. If you are just coming to Jamaat Khana and taking the easy path, not going to the batin yourself, and not teaching the batin to your children, then there is no point in doing any work whatsoever. No point. No point. I will stop here with this note. I hope this have shaken you. This have jolted you. This has awakened you. Because Imam is trying to awake us. He's telling us, my children, my spiritual children, get up. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. Get up. Wake up. Look at these words. Look at this Faramin. Oh my God. I was not able to breathe. We have to take a deep breath and say, oh my God, what have I been doing and what Imam want us to do? We thought we were following Imam's Farman, but Imam wanted something more from us than just the physical practice. So let's stop here. G.
Subhanallah, sir. Friends, if you have any question, please share in the chat room. So there are no questions in the chat right now. Any friends have any question, please unmute your device.
Yeah, Limadat, sir,
Ali Madad.
I really enjoyed your class today. It was very nice, learn a lot of things. But I have one question that, nowadays the kids, very young kids, they are always in the phone with the games and this and that, and busy all the time with the games. So now if you don't make them saying dua on the time, they will never say dua. Like they will say, yeah, mommy, I'm going to do it, but they will never do it because they are so busy in playing the games. So if you don't keep the time with them, the principle with them, they will never do it. And they will say, yeah, I will do it, you'll do it, but then they will forget. That's it. And because they're busy in the playing only. So now little kid, if you don't teach them to go to Jamaat Khana, okay, you don't force them to Jamaat Khana, but you explain them and take nicely. But if you're at home and if you, I don't have a little kid, I'm waiting for my grandkid, I don't have it. But I see generally kids, they are so busy, game in the phone. When they're going to say dua if we don't make them understanding at a time? Once they get older, this okay. Our parents to teach us all the time. You say morning dua at a time, so evening dua at a time. Soon as the dua is finished, we have to say our dua's meaning heart by heart, all of them. I learned that ways. But that way you can't do it our kid here. But at least we have to make them saying dua on the time. Otherwise, they will never do it.
So I would like to take few things from your conversation. One, I have not and I will never ever blame my children for not saying the dua. I always blame myself if they do not say the dua because I did not put the love of the Imam and the understanding of the prayers in their heart. And therefore, they have no value whatsoever of the dua. So number one. Number two, if you are saying today because they have phone and games in their hand, but in our time we didn't have the games and the phones in our hand. Our parents was doing the exactly same thing. 7:30, 7:30, come on, come on, come on, 7:30. Say your dua. We didn't have games in our hand. They were doing exactly same thing 50 years ago. Matter of fact, they were doing exactly the same thing 100 years ago. Matter of fact, they were doing the same thing 150 years ago. So let's not blame our children. You know why? They have no value of the dua? Two reasons. Two reasons. We never taught them the value, the batin of the dua. Second, we never gave them the love of the imam. They love their game, that's why they are playing. These same kids that you are talking about playing their games, but when you look at their report card in schools, they are genius. They come number one in their class. How? Because we taught them that school is important, and if you go to school and you are good in your education, you will make a lot of money. We give them the love of the money, but we never gave them the love of the imam. And third, because we push them, force them to say the dua instead of giving them the love and the understanding of dua. That's why they don't say the dua. This is just me. I never ever blame my children for not doing dua. If they're not, it is because of me did not teach them the meaning of the dua and the love of the imam. It is me, my fault that I did not. And therefore, I will say to those parents, the one with the young children today, it may be too late for me and some. Teach your children the meaning, the communication, and the batin of the dua, and teach them and give them the love of the imam. How do we give love of the imam to our children? So there is actually from the childhood and up. How much do you tell your child, I love you, my son, I love you, my daughter, I love you, beta? And how many times they return and say, I love you, mom, I love you, dad? See, from the childhood, you are teaching them and you are loving them and they are loving you back. If when they are children, if you have a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old children, and when they come from the school, when they are going to the school, when they are at the dining table, keep Mola Bapa's photo there and teach them, practice with them before they eat, before they go to school, before they go to sleep. Teach them. You join their hand and say, look at the Mola Bapa's photo and say, Beta, we love Mola Bapa and Mola Bapa loves us. When they are 1, 2, 3-year old, look at Mola Bapa. He loves us. Tell them some story about Mola Bapa. And you love Mola Bapa. And have your children say, verbalize, I love you, Mola Bapa. And when they say that, you, when their children tell them, look at how much Mola Bapa loves you. bring the love connection between your children and the Imam Zaman. And when they are reciting dua, first of all, forget about their watch. This watch cannot tell you when to remember your Imam, when to say your dua. This watch cannot tell you. This watch does not mean anything. When you are ready with your children in the evening, once they have finished their dinner, and I hope they are eating their dinner before dua time. Let's say it is 6:45, 6:49, 7:01, 7:15. When they finish, come on, children, it's time to remember our Mola. Look at that picture again. Look at the picture of the Imam. Look at how much Imam has been waiting for you. We love Imam, Imam loves us. Let's remember him. Let's say our dua. Bring that love into their heart, into their practice. And then you sit with them and you take them to Jamaat Khana. But if you take them to Jamaat Khana, make sure before you're leaving home, have that conversation with them. Then look at how much we love Mola Bapa. We are going to Mola Bapa's home now. And remember, it is Mola Bapa's home. So we have to be respectful. It is Mola Bapa's home we're going. Mola Bapa love you so much. And because we love Mola Bapa, let's go to his home. You see, it's a practice. Imam is saying, teach your children the correct form. We are not teaching our children correct form today. Teach your children the correct form. Look at this right here. Teach your children the correct form. Right here. Bring the love in their heart. Don't emphasize on the time. Time does not tell you when to remember your Imam. Your heart should tell you when to remember Imam. Your heart. If you teach that way, your children will say dua without you asking them to say dua. They will follow the path of Peer Sadr Deen. They will will understand our tariqah, and they will correctly, not according to time, correctly follow the Imam, the faith. They will say their dua because they know Imam loves them. Remember, you told them, hey, Imam is waiting for us. Imam is waiting for us. We love you, Mala Bapa. We are coming, Mala Bapa. We are coming, Mala Bapa. Sit them down, recite dua. And after the dua, have conversation with them. When you finish your dua, you know how we say those regular dua? How about we have a conversation with them? Ya Mala Bapa, we love you. We have recited our dua. We understand there is a conversation. Mala Bapa, I hope you will listen to me and you will protect me. Conversation. Bring the love of the Imam in their heart. And watch your children grow a true mu'min. I hope you had a long conversation, but there was so much in it, I had to take a long time to explain. Ji.
Yes, sir. I am so proud today. I did same thing with my son, and he started to go by himself to Jamakhana. Sometimes I don't go, but he will go and clean the snow and put the salt. And he said, "No, I have to go to so Molapa Jamakhana." Molapa so happy with me, so happy. He was doing very young age, and he was going parody. Still now
Thank
he's
you.
go parody every day. You're totally right. That's the way I did it
Thank
with
you.
him, and he did very good. But one thing which one our parents didn't teach that. As soon as dua is finished, say dua is meaning behat kubaram dayar Allah namti salu korshu just agri muklo. Just fast, you just say, but you don't know what you're saying. You don't understand what you're saying. I always say dua's meaning, but I never understand before. Now I'm trying to understand what I was saying. That the way
Inshallah.
he was teaching us, we never learned, but now from you and Saiba and everything, I'm learning all this now. I'm really
Shukar
happy for that.
Alhamdulillah. Shukar Alhamdulillah. Shukar Mola. Shukar Mola. Ji,
Thank
do we have any other comments or question?
या अली मदद सर
Ya Ali Madad.
सर ऊपर फरमान में जो दो वर्ड्स आए हैं कि पीर सदरुद्दीन वाइस ट्रू और ऑनेस्ट थे, तो ट्रू और ऑनेस्ट सिमिलर वर्ड्स है, तो इसके ऊपर
Right.
थोड़ा
जी, ये ट्रू जो है ना, ट्रू टू योरसेल्फ एंड ऑनेस्ट इन बातीन, ठीक है, ट्रू टू योरसेल्फ। तो फर्स्ट वो अक्लमंद थे और वो अपने अंदर सच्चे थे, यानी कि वो अपने आप से झूठ नहीं बोलते थे, और वो बातीन के अंदर ऑनेस्ट थे, यानी कि जो बातीन का काम करना है, यानी कि वो जाहिरी इबादत नहीं करते थे। आपने शायद पिछले दर्जों कभी भी नहीं सुना होगा कि वो जाहिरी दुआ पढ़ते थे, वो बातीन की दुआ पढ़ते थे, वो बातीन की इबादत करते थे। सो ही वाज ऑनेस्ट इन हिज बातीनी प्रैक्टिसेस, he was honest to himself because he was wise। वो अपने आप से सच बोलते थे क्योंकि वो अक्लमंद थे। सच बोलने से क्या फायदा होता है कि हम कम से कम अपने अंदर ऑनेस्ट रहते हैं कि हमने ये गलती की है, हम मान लेते हैं। आपने देखा होगा बहुत सारे लोग कि वो अपने आप से ऑनेस्ट नहीं होते हैं, वो हमेशा ये कहेंगे कि मैं जो करता हूँ ना वो दुरुस्त है, बाकी सब झूठे हैं, मैं सच्चा हूँ। पता है वो क्यों बोलते हैं ऐसा? क्योंकि दे आर नॉट ऑनेस्ट टू देमसेल्फ। तो अक्लमंद आदमी पहले अपने आप को कोसता है, अपनी बुराइयों को देखता है, उसको दूर करता है, क्योंकि वो अपने आप से ऑनेस्ट है। तो ये वर्ड ऑनेस्टी इज अ सेल्फ रिफ्लेक्शन, और ये वर्ड जो ऑनेस्टी है वो बातीन की तरफ जाती है। वेरी गुड ऑब्जर्वेशन, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर, शुक्र अली अल्लाह, थैंक यू।
शुक्र अली अल्लाह, शुक्र मौला। जी,
Sir, friends asking, how can we get a better understanding on the batin part of our tariqa? How can we practice more batin?
how do we understand war batin? Through ilm। क्योंकि जब तक हमारे कानों के अंदर दीन का सच्चा इल्म नहीं जाएगा, तब तक हमारे दिल में मजहब का बातीन नहीं जागेगा। इल्म इज द वे टू अंडरस्टैंड and awaken the batin and the understanding of our tariqa in our heart and in our mind. So how do you do it? Through ilm. If you are not listening to, and there's again another challenge, if you are not listening to these lectures at least once after this session today, so you came over here for an hour, if you don't listen to this once again, at least once again, actually you're not appreciating the ilm, and therefore you are missing out on the batin, because it requires to listen at least once, twice, maybe 3 times to fully understand the batin of this ilm, so you may understand the batin of your tariqa. That is your answer. That's how you learn. Ji.
Sir, friends is asking if you could recommend any book from the yesterday's lecture, The Color of Noor.
Ji. Actually, I recommend 3 books, and I can give the name. and then Kamre Sahib can share. So give me 1 second. I recommend 3 books. I was thinking yesterday that someone will ask, and surely enough, somebody did ask on this side. The first book I recommend is Ascent of Soul. Ascent of Soul. Second book I recommend for yesterday's lesson, for Nurani Didar lesson, Fruit of Paradise. Fruit of Paradise. And the third book I recommend is Gems of Marifat. Marifat ke Moti, Gems of Marifat. Those books are available in English and Urdu both. Ascent of Soul, Fruit of Paradise, and Gems of Marifat. Thank you, whoever was asking. I had forgotten about those 3 books. G. Any other comments or question?
So there are no questions in the chat. Any friends have any question? Please unmute your device.
I have a question. Can we become like Pir Sadruddin? Anyone like to answer?
Aziz Bhai Ali Madad.
Mullah Ali Madad.
I think with Mawla's Farman, especially when you reflect on his memoirs, Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah alayhi salam does say that, you know, you can become like Pir Sadruddin, Shams, Jesus, Mansur, and even go beyond. So it is in our capacity to become like them, but there has to be that ardent love, that selfless love that we have to show towards our beloved. And that only comes through the practice of ibadat.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. And can you do ibadat without understanding the Isme Azam and our tariqah and Imam?
Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah, in one of his examples, he spoke about a situation where Mukhi Kamriya Sahib, or he was posed a question that if I was there present, where would you take the Jamaat? Where would you take the Jamaat? So Bhoda Mukhi Kamriya Sahib say, Khudawind, आपकी पास लेकर आऊंगा. मौलाना सुल्तान मोहम्मद शाह अलैहि सलाम ने बोला नहीं, उसको लेकर जाओ जिधर इल्म की मजलिस होती है, उधर के लेकर जाओ, हमारी पहचान होगी उसके पास, फिर हमारे पास लेकर आओ.
Subhanallah.
So I think that
Subhanallah,
understanding आता है, इसमें से समझ जो आती है कि इमाम को जानने के लिए हमारे पीरों ने एक बहुत खूबसूरती से गिनान रचे हुए हैं. इमाम के फरमान में जो हम सुनते हैं, कितनी खूबसूरती से, कितना प्यार और इश्क और मोहब्बत से हमको समझाते आए हैं कि इबादत जहाँ की हो, वो खूबसूरती है इबादत की. इसमें आज़म का मीनिंग क्या है, उसकी हकीकत. जिस हम आम की खूबसूरती होती है कि sweetness of the mango can only be understood by the person who is eating. So, you know, till I actually take the first step and practice my ibadat with that humility, with that submission, and with that love, can only we go in the direction of His grace.
Subhanallah. Thank you, Kareem. Thank you so much. Such a wonderful comment and understanding. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other comments or question?
या अली मदद सर.
या अली मदद.
सर एक कमेंट है कि अभी तक इतनी सारी क्लासेस सुनते आए, सीखे, बहुत कुछ सीखने मिला और थोड़ा चेंज भी आया, लेकिन आज आप जो सिखाए ना सर, उसमें ये समझ आया कि ये पूरा इल्म हमको है ना इमाम की लव की तरफ लेके जाता है, और वो लव के लिए इतना इल्म हम लेना है कि उतना लव आ जाए, मौला का रिकॉग्निशन का हमेशा क्वेश्चन था दिमाग में, आज एक समझ आई कि वो मौला की इतनी इश्क़े हकीकी आए कि हमारे 24 घंटे इबादत बन जाए। ये चीज आज आप जो सिखाए ना सर, इट इज लाइक शुक्र मौला सर, थैंक यू शुक्र मौला सर।
Subhanallah, 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 Shukr Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Let's make a last question. If anyone has one comment or question, let's make it a last one. Then if there is any question, Kamlesh sir can write it down for next week. Ji.
Yalima sir, I just want to ask you one question. I'm a little bit confused about yesterday. You say that about the Isme Azam, you can take first one, second one, third one, as much you can take it is as much you can progress it. But when I went for my operating, the Isme Azam, that time Mola Papa by itself, Mola Papa says that now don't remember the old one, the first one. Just remember only first. With this one today, you're going to get it. Only remember that one. Don't remember the last one at all. Just came out from your brain, that one completely. If you forget this one, you try to remember, try to do anything, but don't try to remember the past one. So I'm a little bit confused on that one.
Ji. Remember when is Imam giving Isme Azam, he is looking at what? Who is he looking at? You were not the only one there, were you? I'm sure there were hundreds, maybe 1,000 people there. And there were few amongst you. Remember, there are minimum of 2 to 3 kind of people. They are present for the second bowl. First one are who have forgotten their soul. Second one who says, my first bowl did not work. And the third one who says, my bowl worked and I would like to progress to the next level. Within the same group, in the front of the Imam, there are 3 kind of Jamaat. Who Imam is talking to when Imam said that? Ilm and ilm can only teach you and make you understand what Imam is saying. Anything outside the ilm, you will never ever understand what Imam is telling you. Never. So there were 3 kind of mu'mineen. If you were the only one in the front of the Imam, then this question would not even be there. G. I hope without saying anything, I did answer your question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for everything today. We learned a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Shukar Alhamdulillah. Shukar Mullah. Thank you, everybody. See you next week. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
याली मदद मौला सुखी सलामत आबाद रखे.
Ameen. Ameen.
Yali Madad, and thank you.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad. Thank you very much.
Yali Madad.
Shukran
Thank you.
Mola
Yali
bless you.
Madad. Ameen. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
That's it.